Greetings, RC model geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 40 of the Sarik Hobbies de Havilland, Canada Chipmunk build. So I've been cracking on. As I said before, we've basically got to sort out the flap mechanisms so that we can get that area sheeted, and then we can trial fit the thing to the fuselage. So it's been quite time consuming just getting that right and working right. I mean, it's got to be reliable forever, basically. You know, because it ain't coming apart again unless you crash it. So it's got to be spot on first time, and it's got to keep working. So far I have put the servo in the centre section there for the flaps, and I've made up the push rods, connected them up to the bell cranks, made another push rod for the flap itself, and mounted one of the flaps. And so now we basically have a working flap on one side that works exactly how it should. And you know, it's going to be reliable, and it's a nice tight setup. So I think I'll lift the camera up and move it over so we can have a closer look at what's going down. So there is the flap servo mounted in the centre section. Now I've just used some spruce runners across there, two of them, one on top and one bottom, and then a couple of hardwood blocks that are slotted into this spruce to mount the servo itself. Yeah, sometimes I could maybe have just used that same 1/4 inch spruce going across for the bearers for the servo, but that spruce, when it's small, it tends to split when you put in screws and stuff into it. So I went for the hardwood blocks there, which are much better, and it strengthens everything up. You know, it's like a brick shithouse that now. I've also got a couple of like spruce plates here just to support those runners, just to give it a nice lot of strength. I might just get a bit of balsa and infill this here and bring it up to the level of the rib, just to give the centre sheeting a bit more support, because we are going to end up cutting out a hole here, so we do have some kind of access to this servo, you know, when it's actually finished. So yeah, and I might also cut this spruce bearer here so that it makes it slightly easier to get the servo out. The servo will slide straight out like that if you undo the screws, and you can get a screwdriver in there to get to those screws. So it will slide out that way, but we could probably get away with maybe a smaller hole if this was cut here and here, and we could just slide the servo straight up like that to get it out. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I quite prefer it like that because it's nice and strong, and it gives a bit more strength to the centre of the wing anyway. And then yeah, there we have the bell crank all connected up. The other thing I've done, got a bit of heat shrink over the clevis, obviously to stop it popping apart. It shouldn't do. They're metal ones. They're quite strong. But I can't get the heat shrink up any further because of the movement, the amount of movement you've got. This bell crank starts digging into the into your heat shrink that you put over there as a keeper. So that's as far forward as it can go, and obviously the same on there. But something's better than nothing. It all helps. And then yeah, down to the flat mounting itself. Now I've used a ball link down at that end. I found some really small ball links, and they're all metal actually, but they've got a very nice small body to them, so they're not very long. And they're in there. If I wind this out, you get a better view of him. There he is, and he is very dinky. He's only like a little M2, but yeah, that works quite well. And it really needs that sort of joggle offset. If you had a clevis going on to this horn, it's a little bit too far over to come through that hole properly. That's that was laser cut in the in that rear spar. And if the hole moves over any further that way, it starts getting into the rib area here. So you really do need some kind of joggle over, like a ball link, just to offset it slightly. It might have almost been better if this this horn was actually glued onto the opposite side of that flap rib there. That would have just shifted it over a little bit more, and it would have probably lined up slightly better. But they do show it on that side of the flap in the drawings, so that's the way it is. But that works fine, and as you can see, if I do that, she goes up and she goes down, and we've got quite a lot of movement there. I mean, you can see there's your full flap there, which is plenty. You're never going to need that. The thing will just fall out of the sky. And there it is, back up. So yeah, so that is all working lovely jubbly. And like I say, I've got to do the other side now, the same. So we've got quite a bit of work to do on the other flap, because it isn't to the same stage as that one yet. So I will probably spend the rest of the day sorting the other flap out. I've got to glue on all the horns and hinges to the second flap, because it's still in its sort of raw built state at the moment. So I don't think you'll see much more action today, you know, apart from this bit of video of me waffling on. But yeah, it's coming together. I've done a little bit more sheeting. You know, it's all getting there slowly. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a stonking plane when it's finished. There's some nice engineering in this build, you know, and which is why it's for people that have done a few builds before, because there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to get right, and get it right pretty much first time, because you don't want to be cutting open the wing when something doesn't work properly. So this is why it all takes time. Just little tweaks, adjustments, try it, see how you think it works. If you don't think it's perfect, try something else. And that's what I've been doing here. So yeah, I'm going to get on with this second flap, and I'll probably come back to you, and then that'll be it really. Okay, so there is the second flap made, and there's the second aileron with its hinges and horns and stuff like that glued in there. there's one sort of gotcha when you do these two parts, and that is these two hinges or hinge plates. You've got to make sure they're both in the same place on the flap and on the aileron, because they use a common mounting point, right? So if those two holes, like the one in there, if this will focus, the one in there and the one in there, there, yeah, use a common mounting point. So if they don't line up, then you're going to get an offset in your aileron and flap. So yeah, just make sure when you glue those onto the ends, there and there, that that they do actually line up. Right, and that's it for the day. Yeah, it's getting late now, so I'm going to call it a day. Don't forget to look at Sarik Hobbies website. Link is in the description. Don't forget the Big Shed Fund. It's still there. And, you know, without a bigger shed, we won't be building a lot of stuff. And there's lots of stuff to build in the future. I've got piles of kits here that need building and nowhere to put them. So, Big Shed Fund, link in the description also. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.
Thank you for watching Captain Rob's RC Model Geeks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more of the same type of videos, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to support us, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/RC Model Geeks. If you want to contact us, you can email us rcmodelgeeks@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.